I hope you're all well. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Soulcoast. I am a clairvoyant, psychic medium and law of attraction practitioner. Kind of do all kinds of things spiritual. And today I wanted to discuss some useful tips that I have to give you in terms of managing your anxiety. So if you suffer with crippling anxiety, you have come to the right place. So why do I think that I'm qualified enough to give you advice? Well, I have suffered from anxiety my entire life, like as far back as I can remember. I think it started at about 3. And my anxiety was caused from 2 reasons. One, I had a very abusive childhood. And so I experienced a lot of physical and verbal aggression. And so I never knew what was going to come, what days were going to be okay, what's not. And that up and down of not knowing, always worried about the futures, originally what started the anxiety. And also the fact that I didn't know until I was 24 that I had really bad dyslexia and dyspraxia. And so I had a lot of low self-esteem because I always thought I was like dumb, I was stupid, I had a really bad like short-term memory and stuff. So all those things just help add to the anxiety, and I attracted people that sort of put me down and stuff. And I kind of survived by being that girl that was like a bit of a clown and always jumping around and fidgety and always moving, and it was just basically my anxiety. And I'm a completely different person now to how I was like 10 years ago. And a lot of it is through loads and loads and loads of therapy. I did do traditional therapy. I did like CBT, counselling. I also then went to the spiritual route and did a lot of shadow work myself. And I also had medication. I used to have a very high dose of medication, and now I'm on a very low dose of medication, which doesn't get rid of my anxiety, but it takes the edge off a little bit. So I have that mindset that I can then use my other tools that I have to manage it. It would be really easy for me to just have a high dose of medication and just not worry about it, but I've always been adamant that I will find the root cause and however I'm feeling and work on it. And it's something that if you suffer from mental health, and it's something that you need to work on. If it's a long-term mental health illness, I believe that it's something you have to work on and look after for the rest of your life. And I did a lot of research. I mean, this is 5 years ago now, but I did a hell of a lot of research into tools that would help me. And I found 3 that worked the best for me that I'm going to tell you. And I promise you it will help you to some extent if you suffer from any form of anxiety. So my first tip is, I hope I say this properly, Pranayama. Pranayama, which is a form of breath control in yoga, and it's a way of controlling your breath in different rhythms and in different ways while doing a yoga practice. But in itself, it is just distinctive by its types of breathing techniques. And I actually found this and did a course about this, and it was one of the best things I ever found, because with anxiety, when it was at its peak, before I learned how to manage it, and when I just started medication, and if you have medication, as you know, it can sometimes take like 6 to 8 weeks for it to actually work. And after I had my second child, my anxiety was just completely through the roof. It was the highest and the worst it's ever been. And I tried meditation, I tried yoga, none of it was working. My mind was just racing all the time. And then I found Pranayama, and once I discovered that and did a course, it was amazing. I think I just accidentally found it on YouTube, and there was a couple of breathing techniques that just completely worked for me. The first one was alternate nostril breathing, which is where you hold like one nostril in, breathe in and breathe out from the other nostril, and there's like certain positions and things. I'll put links down below so you can try it out. The second type was kumbhaka. I think I'll put it down here because I'm not sure. Breathing. I liked this one in particular because it's a breathing technique, and it's like 1-2-1, 1-4-2. So for example, for me, I would breathe in for 10 seconds, hold my breath for 40 seconds, and then let out for 20 seconds. And it was just amazing. There's another one where I think it's called fire breathing, where you put your arms up and then you go and you do it in like certain amount of seconds and certain amount of time frames. And it's like when I felt super anxious, I had all this energy and I felt like I couldn't breathe, I would do this one, and and kind of makes you lightheaded but relaxed at the same time. And these techniques saved me. I mean, they helped so much that I don't even, it's been years since I've actually used them. I can just sort of use just typical meditation with slow breathing now, but at the time when my anxiety was really bad, it was amazing. It was the best thing that helped me personally, and I recommend you try it too. The second thing I did, which was kind of inspired by counselling but more in regards to shadow work, is I just decided one day I need to sort out what's in my head. So I did a list and I split it in a notebook into 3 sections. The first one was problems in the future that I'm worried about. The second one is problems or issues from the past that still play on my mind and affect me to this day. And the third one was issues about myself. For example, low self-esteem. I used to get paranoid people were looking at me. I used to get worried that people judging me. I didn't like the idea of people judging me. And I had these 3 categories, and I was determined I was going to work on them. And I started with the things I was worried about in the future, such as money, making sure I was going to find a job, things like that. Then the things in the past, like looking into my childhood and that, I had a lot of counselling about that. I looked in and just come to a place of acceptance of my past in order to let go. I problem solved my issues from the future to the best I could. Not all problems can be dealt with, but I had faith that, I will create my own job, and I will find something I can do from home. I will do this. And then the third column of working on the issues on myself. So researching what low self-esteem is, what caused it, how I felt about myself. Why didn't I like the way I looked? Why did I think I was dumb? Why did I have these negative thought beliefs about me? And a lot of it stemmed from childhood, a lot of it now as an adult, understanding myself and being like, you know what, I am perfect and amazing as I am. And once I understood what caused my issues and how to work on them, again using Google, just like finding techniques to help work on self-esteem, how to make myself feel better. The main thing I used was affirmations. I'm amazing every morning, waking up and writing down affirmations, then re-looking them in the morning, like I am amazing, I am strong, I am in control, everything's going to be okay, I am beautiful, I am sexy, all that kind of stuff, just over and over and over again. I would have my close family around me to tell me things that they liked about me, and I would write it all down on a giant mind map, and I'd stick it on my wall so that I saw it every morning. And every time I felt a bit down, I would look at it every morning to remind me of the amazing qualities, because back in the day I actually did not know what my amazing qualities were. I really didn't. A lot of my qualities were to entertain people, and people found me funny, or I was a people pleaser, and people just wanted to know me because I would just give them advice and be emotional support, but not actually know me for who I was, like my interests, my personality. And so my goal was to be my authentic self, and be my authentic self. Openly say, yeah, I have anxiety, I manage it. If I'm having a low day or feeling down, I say it. It's a write-off day. That's what I say to my family. I'm just feeling low. Could be my menses that's causing it, could be a full moon. And my final tip for you is just the most, and you must have heard of Mel Robbins. If you haven't, Robbins created the 5-second rule, and it was one of the first things I learned when I finally decided I was going to face my anxiety and deal with it. And the 5 seconds rule is amazing. So if you don't know what it is, basically you have a worry or a thought or something like an intrusive thought. So I have a lot of OCD intrusive thoughts, a lot, and they're not so frequent now. It's every other day, a couple of days, but back in the day it was all day, every day. And so you have an intrusive thought and it's something that was worrying you. You stop, you count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your brain switches, and then you have an anchor thought. And an anchor thought of something positive. So for me, I would think of the birth of my children, because at the time that was the only thing I was happy about, was my children. And so I'd always think about either my daughter's birth or my son's birth, and sort of that joy I had when they come into the world. And so I did this over and over again, all day, every day for weeks. And I've read and I've been told that it takes 21 days to change your brain. Like, our brain's on autopilot, and it takes 21 days to change that. So I did this literally for 21 days straight. I would just think of my daughter or my son when they were little. These are the things that made me happy at the time. The intrusive thoughts just stopped. After 3 weeks, I just noticed I'd randomly just start thinking about my children and start feeling good. Like, my mindset changed. I started naturally thinking positively rather than negatively. And I truly believe it was thanks to Mel Robbins and her 5-second rule. and her anchor thought theory, which is what she discovered and what she used. And I applied that to myself. And again, I'll put the links down below for it. But it's an absolute genius tactic. And I highly recommend you try it. When you first try it, you'll be like, this isn't doing anything. But after, give it time. If you can try and do it for 21 days straight, I promise you're going to absolutely notice a difference. And it massively helped me. My hair is just... I don't like my hair today. It's just like crazy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please try out my 3 recommendations. Comment down below or DM me on Instagram if you tried them and let me know what you think. I highly recommend them, and this is coming from someone who had, I'm diagnosed with GAD, which is general anxiety disorder, which means I was anxious about everything and nothing all day, every day. It didn't stop unless I was asleep. It never stopped. And so I tried everything. And these for me were the 3 only things that really made a difference to my life, and they did absolutely change my life. So please try it out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and like. Please subscribe if you'd like some more, because I've got information on all kinds of things that might help you. And please check out the Spiritual Babe podcast, which is my podcast. You might find it some interesting episodes on there. And yeah, until next time, everybody. Bye for now.